Assalamu alaikum. This is presentation of our project Bayesian inference and linear regression model usage for coronavirus prediction and COVID-19 mortality rate prediction. Our team consists of three members: Mohammad Mohsin Ejaz, Ihtisham Beg, and Salman Tahir. These days, coronavirus is spreading like fire. What is the mortality rate? What is the effectiveness of coronavirus test? If first report of a person's COVID-19 test turned out to be positive, does it mean that he actually have the virus, or do we need a second test to verify this? These are the questions which we try to answer in this project. There are three main goals of our project. Number one is discussion of different techniques that have been used for mortality rate prediction. Second goal is to use linear regression technique to predict about the mortality rate in Pakistan. And in the third part, we try to find out the probability that a person is actually corona affected given that its report turned out to be positive. Salman Tahir will tell about different techniques that have been used for mortality rate prediction. Then Ihtisham Beg will tell you about the linear regression technique and how he used this technique to predict about the mortality rate in Pakistan. And in the last part, I will try to find the probability that a person is actually corona affected or not, given that he has positive test report.
COVID-19 mortality rate prediction methods. A mortality rate is a measure of number of deaths during a specified interval from some specific cause, like COVID-19. Many methods were used to predict the mortality rate of COVID-19. We will discuss some methods. SIR susceptible, infected, recovered. This model is used to predict the infections and deaths. The assumption in this model is that infected and susceptible population is mixed and constant. It has three parameters. Susceptible individuals are those who are not affected but could be affected. It increases for a period of time. Infected individuals are already infected people. It can be constant or removed from population by recovering or dying. Removed individuals are those who are the recovered from virus. They have no immunity system in them. These factors are used in three differential equations which can be simultaneously solved to get susceptible, infected, and removed populations. These equations shows the shocking increase in infection rate around the world. This shows that extreme actions needs to be taken as early as possible. Another prediction method is big data. The purpose is to accumulate data from different sources. After that, health decisions can be easily taken. As population has been increased much and mobility of people has been increased too. In this global village, the COVID-19 is a major public health problem. Big data also involves online public opinion. A user on internet generates 1.7 megabytes each second. Let's discuss some method of big data. Internet of Things. It can be used for positioning and tracking monitoring data, for example, to check that whether people wear masks or not by using infrared imaging. Mobile device data. It provides information of people who had contacted infected people. It also provides location information of people in public transportation and other places from which we can get virus. Social media data. Data taken from the websites like Facebook, Twitter, and WeChat on daily basis can provide location of disease. Now, WeChat provides a pandemic inspection function for the prevention of COVID-19. Search engine. Search engine create big data which is used to make decisions. Data provides information that what user wants or needed. Patient information based algorithm. This method estimates the death rate of a disease in real time and prediction of deaths in future by using publicly available data of patients visited earlier in an epidemic. We calculate the number of days from symptoms to death and pattern this time in normal distribution. The parameters of this model are number of patients, number of deaths, number of new patients, death of patient entered into the hospital, and date of death. Also, there were mentioned town, city, and country. Collection of data was made by websites and then transferred to Excel sheets. We consider that these intersections are within range of real death rates. Statistical neural network: This model is a mortality rate prediction model. Two datasets are used. One dataset D1 consists of death cases and D2 consists of confirmed cases. We also calculate root mean square error, which is square root of square difference between predicted and actual death cases, and correlation coefficient, which is a relationship between the predicted and actual death cases. It has the following parts. Probabilistic neural network: It describes bacterial growth and calculates the probability by using PDF and Bayes rule. Generalized regression neural network: It has two layers, the input layer and summation layer. A Gaussian PDF is added to the network as an input layer. Radial basis function neural network: It's a neural network with three layers. One layer is input, while the other layer uses Gaussian function. The third layer results Gaussian outputs. Procedure: First, we have to create our datasets and input them into above discussed model and predict COVID-19 death cases. After that, compare the SNN model of two datasets using root mean square error value. If error value is high, then calculate the error of SNN model and predict value again. As mortality prediction calculated. Projection using machine learning. Machine learning techniques can be organized to track the disease and predict its growth. There are multiple sources of data generation, which are text messages, online chat, social media, and web articles. This useful data can be managed and analyzed by machine learning. For example, pneumonia can that have different types can be detected by a CT image, which is based on machine learning. An example of machine learning technique is sport vector regression model, which is used to solve different types of COVID-19 related problems. In this method, total number of positive cases, number of recovery cases, affected regions are examined. By this, we can predict end time of disease.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Mortality rate prediction using linear regression. In our project, we studied various techniques to predict the mortality rate. One of the techniques which is commonly used is linear regression. Now, what is regression? Regression is a technique to develop a relationship between dependent variables and independent variables. Dependent variables. Dependent variables are those which depends upon any feature factor that can affect our output. In our case, mortality rate is our dependent variables. Independent variables are which do not depend on any feature factor, but it can affect our output. Now, what is linear regression? Linear regression, as it's clear by its name, the output of the linear regression will be a straight line, as shown in this image. If the value of independent variable increases, the value of dependent variable also increases. Now, there are two types of linear regression. One is simple linear regression, whereas the other is multiple linear regression. Simple linear regression, it depends upon only one independent variables, whereas the multiple linear regression can depend upon multiple independent variables. Now, how we implemented our linear regression on our dataset? We collected a dataset from covid.government.pk. Later on, we filtered the dataset for our required independent variables and performed linear regression. Firstly, we perform simple linear regression. As mentioned before, for the output, the linear or output of linear regression will be a straight line, and the equation for straight line is y is equal to mx plus c. Following the same concept, the equation of simple linear regression will be y is equal to a naught plus x a1 plus eta. Here, y is the mortality rate predicted, a naught is the intercept of the line obtained from the linear regression, a1 is the slope of the line, x is the independent variable that affects our output, also known as predictor. Eta is equal to error term which we might have due to our outliers or inliers. Now, for performing simple linear regression, we use our dataset for predicting that on daily basis. For that, we use it daily new cases that occurred as our independent variables, whereas daily deaths as a dependent variables. Now, for implementing the simple linear regression, we use a tool available in Excel for data analysis, and here is the output of the simple linear regression. In this image, it is clear that our data is very much scattered and do not best fits for the output, which means that simple linear regression will not predict properly for the mortality rate we want to predict. Now, multiple linear regression. Uh, as mentioned before, it can depend upon multiple independent variables. So here n is the number of observation, and a naught is the intercept, x are the independent variables, eta is the error term, y is the output dependent variables, whereas a1, a2, and so on, an are the coefficient, also weight of the corresponding independent variables. Here, weight means that how much that independent variable affect our output. Now, for implementing multiple linear regression, we use dataset in which we consider total cases and total recovered cases as our independent variables, whereas total deaths as our dependent variable. Now, using the same tool available in Excel, we perform regression for multiple linear regression using this dataset, and here are the outputs. Here in this image, we can see that our line best fits with our independent variables, and our predicted total death is the best fits for our required output. Now, here is the comparison between simple linear regression and multiple linear regression. Here, R is also known as coefficient of determination, whose values lies between 0 to 1. 0 to 1. If the value is 0, which means it cannot predict our output properly. If it very much near to the 1, it means it can predict our output very strongly. Using these results, we can say that multiple linear regression best fits for predicting the mortality rate which we want to predict.
In this part of the project, we tried to find out the probability that a person has coronavirus given that its test report is positive. Let's first try to understand the problem. Let's say we have a population, and from this population we randomly choose a person, and we take that person to the doctor, and when she go to the doctor and tell about the symptoms which she is having, doctor suggests that these symptoms are of coronavirus and asks her to go for PCR test. PCR test has been considered as golden standard for detecting coronavirus because it actually detects the RNA. Sophia Yuhi, an associate professor at University of Minnesota, has written in her findings that sensitivity of a PCR test is 80% and specificity is 98 to 99%. But what is sensitivity? What is specificity? Sensitivity means that if a person has corona, then 80% chance is that PCR test will able to detect it correctly. On the other hand, if a person does not have corona, then there is 98 to 99% chance that PCR test can successfully detect that person does not have corona. So we now have the accuracy of PCR test as sensitivity with 80% and specificity with 98 to 99%. We have used 98% in our calculations to be on safer side. Let's get back to our problem. PCR test has been performed and it turned out to be positive. Does she really have coronavirus? This is the question which we want to answer in this part. We wanted to find out how many people have coronavirus. We assume that if a person has all the symptoms of coronavirus, then he definitely have the corona infection. In UK, Patrick and Johnny performed a survey in which they asked people to report their symptoms and likelihood that they have the coronavirus or not. Based on the data which they got from survey, they divided people into four groups. Group 1 or class 1 are those people who reported no symptoms. Group 2 are those people who shown symptoms but not of corona. Group 3 consists of those people who have shown mixed symptoms. Some are of coronavirus and some are not. And in group 4, all the people have shown all the symptoms of the coronavirus. 2% people belong to class 4, 20% people belong to class 3, 36% people belong to class 2, and 42% belong to class 1. There is another survey which have been performed by using COVID-19 Radar app. In this survey, they have performed the coronavirus test on the people who have shown the symptoms of coronavirus. And according to their information, there are 82% people who have shown the coronavirus symptoms and their report turned out to be positive. In survey 1, we found that 2% people have reported symptoms of corona, and in survey 2, we find that 82% people have actually coronavirus symptoms and their report turned out to be positive. So by combining these two results, we can say that the 82% of those 2% people will actually have corona. So if we combine findings of these two tests, then we can say that the probability of a person has corona is 0.02 into 0.82, which is 0.0164. So it means that 1.64% people have coronavirus in UK. From these numbers, we can find that a person has coronavirus given that is positive is equal to 0.80 into 0.0164 divided by probability of the test is positive. This 0.8 is basically the sensitivity of PCR test. We can find the probability that test is positive given that a person has no corona symptoms by subtracting specificity of the PCR test from 1. We don't know the probability the test is positive. We can find this by using law of total probability. According to that probability the test is positive given that the test person has corona plus the probability that test is positive person does not have the corona. By putting the values we got the number 0.0327. This is the probability that a person's test is positive whether he has corona or not. By putting all the values in equation 1, we can get the answer of our problem, which is 0.40. So what this number suggests? Our calculation suggests that there is only 40% chance that a person chosen randomly for PCR test and its PCR test report turned out to be positive, that he actually have the coronavirus. Although test accuracy was 80%, but that does not mean that the person will also have 80% chance to be corona victim given that its test is positive. So a single PCR test is not enough evidence to say that a person definitely has corona. And this calculation clearly portray current situation. For example, we have seen that in recent tours of Pakistan cricket team to England and New Zealand, few players tested positive initially, but when they were tested again, they turned out to be negative. Similar circumstances can be observed all over the globe.